Hey everyone, we're back for another workout of the day. Today is 5 rounds for time called con fuerza, meaning with strength, with force. We're gonna do 20 sit-ups, 5 cleans, 20 ab twists, 5 push-ups, 20 box jumps, and 5 thrusters. So we're gonna do all that 5 times and mark your times down and your weights down. We're gonna go over all those movements and the modifications, and then you can get started. Okay, so the first movement is going to be our sit-up. So we're gonna come down, reach our hands back, and then all the way up to our toes, really engaging that core, squeezing it as you come up. Modifications, you can go to your knees, or you can do crunches and aim for those shins. What we don't want to do is put our hands behind our head because we just don't want to put the strain on our neck. The next movement is going to be the clean. So if you have a barbell, we'll go over this first. Again, this is kind of an advanced movement. So if you haven't trained this particular movement with a coach, I don't recommend doing it with a barbell in this workout. So we're gonna set up at the bar. It's gonna be close to our shins. We're gonna be touching our shins as we set up. We're gonna always keep that chest up. We're gonna be looking forward. Our shoulders are gonna be back. Our core is going to be engaged and tight. And we're gonna pull the barbell up and we're gonna drive with our legs. It's not a pull with your arms. It's driving up. You're gonna shrug at the top, and as you shrug and really push the force up with your legs, the barbell is going to pop up, and as it pops up, you're going to get your arms and elbows underneath. So you're gonna really drive those elbows up and catch it right here on this nice shelf that you're going to create with your shoulders. So you're not holding it here. It's going to land on your shoulders and you're just supporting it with those hands. So let me show you the pull first. So we're gonna set up at the barbell. Our hands are gonna be about thumb width away from this smooth part here. Again, we're gonna set up. We're gonna make sure everything is tight and engaged, so our shoulders are back, our back is straight, our chest is up, and our legs are nice and tight and engaged. And we're gonna drive up, and this should be what the pull looks like. And you see how nice and close it is to me. And then I'm going to go ahead and get my elbows through real quickly and catch it at the top. So again, and I'm using that leg drive to pop that barbell up. So if we are not using the barbell, we can use a med ball. So it's gonna be essentially the same movement, just with the med ball, but we're gonna catch it in a squat. So we're gonna set up at the med ball. Our chest is gonna be up, our legs are down and engaged, and we're gonna drive everything up and catch it here. So it's gonna look like this. Stand all the way up, and that would be 1. So the ball is almost twisting on the way up. So that would be the med ball clean. Don't have a med ball, but you have a dumbbell. We can also do a dumbbell clean, which we're gonna do 5 on each arm. So we're gonna do a hang clean, which means we're not gonna start from the ground. We're gonna come down, keep that chest up, the shoulders back, back straight, everything core engaged. You're gonna slide the dumbbell down to about your knee, and you're gonna drive it up with those legs. Again, leg, legs, legs. So drive and catch it on your shoulder in a quarter squat, stand up, and that would be 1. Now you can also do this with a kettlebell, but again, if you're newer to these movements, I suggest either the med ball or the dumbbell. We're gonna come back to that movement, you'll see, when we do thrusters. So keep all that in mind. Okay. Next movement is going to be our ab twist. So we'll go over the form first. So we just want our butt on the ground, nothing else. Our legs are gonna be up in the air and crossed. And we are going to be leaning back so our core is engaged and tight. And we're just gonna go back and forth. So now you can do this without a weight, or you can do it with a weight. You can either use a plate or a dumbbell. And you want to keep whatever weight you're using pretty close. You don't want it out here. So keep it close so that you can really engage that core and use the small movement to really get everything moving. If you're trying to use a weight and you find yourself not being able to balance just on your butt, you can put 1, not 2, but 1 heel down on the ground very lightly just to keep you stabilized. And that will come with time. As you strengthen that core, you'll be able to stay up in this position for the reps. Next movement is going to be our push-up. So, a few things I want to, that I've seen, that I just want to make sure we know is right and not right. When we set up for the push-up, our hand should be under our shoulder. I feel like women tend to go a little wider for some reason. Sometimes men get a little close for, I don't know why, but that just happens. Sometimes it's the opposite. But what we really want is everything stacked on top of each other. That creates a nice support system as you're coming down and pushing up. And it keeps everything kind of stabilized. So I'm gonna show you facing you first. So everything is underneath me. I'm gonna come down, touch the ground, come back up. And now we're gonna go sideways just so you can see. We don't want saggy butt. We don't want bubble butt. We want neutral butt. So everything should stay in line. If you find yourself coming down and your hips are hitting first, just recheck your position and make sure you're not sagging. So no saggy, no bubble, neutral. And come down and touch the ground. So modification would be on your knees. So again, we want that same position, our shoulder over our hands. We're gonna go on our knees, cross our legs, keep everything straight. Again, we don't want sagging or pushing out. We wanna come down in a nice, straight, even line. So those are the modifications, or one modification, singular. You can also use the box that you're going to be using for the next movement. So with the box for push-ups modification, you just want to put your hands on the box, step out, and you're going to come down and touch your chest to the box and come up. The closer you are, it kind of gets awkward, so you want to make sure you're out far enough and come down and touch the box. So, transitioning over to the box, we're going to do box jumps. So, big thing with box jumps, when we jump on the box, We want to make sure our whole foot is placed on the box, no hanging off, no landing on our toes. We want a whole foot on the box. So we're gonna set up right in front of the box. We're gonna jump up and land in this kind of quarter squat position, stand all the way up, and we can either jump down or we can step down. Modifications would be just lowering the box, or you can do step ups, but with step ups, again, whole foot on the box, drive with the leg on the box, stand all the way up so your leg is straight, then place that other foot on the box, come back down, all the way straight, other foot on the box. We can also use plates, and we can set up a height that you feel comfortable with. So there's just different things that you can do. Now, if you don't have a box, you don't have anything to jump on, that's okay. We can do jumping squats. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna set up about hip width with our feet, slightly pointed outwards. We're gonna bring our knees out, not forward, not in. Push those knees out, keep your chest up, come all the way down, jump up, and just land in that squat position. Okay, thrusters. My least favorite movement, but some people love them. It is a great full body movement. So, we're gonna revisit the clean that we just did. That's going to be how we're gonna get the barbell up. And then we're gonna come down into, and we only have to do that once, essentially. Then we're gonna have the barbell up. The important thing is we wanna be resting the barbell on our shoulders, so we're not holding it here. That's going to create tension that we don't want, and it's gonna take away from the drive upward. So we're gonna have the barbell resting here, supported by our hands. We're gonna come in that squat, what we just talked about squat. We're gonna come out with our knees out, feet flat on the ground. We're gonna do a front squat, and then as we're coming up from the front squat, we're gonna drive up with our legs, and we're gonna use that momentum to push the barbell overhead. So, and then as we come back down, we're going to come back down as we bring the barbell down. So it should be a nice fluid movement, and all of those movements should work together. So we do not want to just separate those movements out. We don't want to front squat, stop, and then press, and then bring the barbell down and squat. We want a nice fluid movement so that everything can work together and create that nice, easy thruster for you. So with the barbell, let me show you. We're gonna clean the barbell up. It's resting on my shoulders. I'm barely touching it with my hands. I'm gonna come down into that squat, and I'm gonna drive up overhead, come back down. You see, as I'm coming down, I'm already getting down into that squat position, and everything is working together. So, if you don't have a barbell, you can use a dumbbell. And we're gonna do 5 on each side. So, I'm gonna take the dumbbell, rest it on that shoulder. We're gonna use this hand as a balance system. We're gonna come down and just drive up overhead, switch. So you could use a plate as well, but I suggest a dumbbell would be better. Again, just overhead. So all of those movements you're going to do 5 times, and get the time counted. Make sure you mark down your time and wait so you can revisit these exercises and see how you improved.